Let's take a look at another special right triangle. I'm going to call this one the 30, 60, 90 right triangle. But again, I'm going to use radian measure. Remember, 30 degrees is the same thing as pi over 6. 60 degrees is the same thing as pi over 3. And 90 degrees is the same thing as pi over 2. So here's an angle of 30 degrees, and I'm going to give it a measurement of pi over 6. And there's an angle of pi over 3. Okay? Now, let me just tell you the special relationship between the sides here. Okay? And this is one thing that we have to memorize in this course. If we encounter a 30, 60, 90 right triangle, or a pi over 6, pi over 3, pi over 2 right triangle, the sides will have the following relationships. Okay? The side opposite the pi 6 is going to be a measurement of 1. The side opposite the right angle, or the hypotenuse, will be 2. And the side opposite the pi over 3 will be square root 3. Now this is pretty easy to remember. I always call this the 1, 2, 3 right triangle, where the square root of 3 is always going to be opposite the pi over 3. Now let's make sure that this makes sense to us. Let's see if it satisfies the Pythagorean theorem. In other words, let's see if a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We'll just check it out. So let's see, a squared plus b squared, does that equal c squared? Square root of 3 squared is 3. 1 squared is 1. And 2 squared is 4. And yes, 3 plus 1 is 4. Okay? Now, let me go ahead and give you another picture. Let's say that this is pi over 3 here. Therefore, this is pi over 6. Let's go ahead and write our relationship between the sides here. Remember, a pi over 3, pi over 6 right triangle is the 1, 2, 3 right triangle, where the square root of 3 is always opposite the pi thirds. The hypotenuse is always the longest side, so this is going to always be the 2, and the 1 will go here. Okay? So that's one we have to memorize. So we've already talked about the 45, 45 right triangle. Now we know the 30, 60, 90 right triangle. Okay? Just remember, it's going to have a relationship of 1, 2, 3, where the square root of 3 is opposite the pi over 3.